to me, it's a public service. It's not what you get.
Oh,
Guess I should.
It's going.
Evening.
We'd like to call to order the Tuesday, August 16th, 2022 meeting of the Danville City Council. Madam Clerk, roll call to establish a quorum, please.
Mayor Ricky Williams Jr.,
Present.
Alderman Heidi Wilson,
Present.
Carolyn Wands,
Present.
James Bouchard,
Present.
Bob Iverson,
Present.
Brenda Brown,
Present.
Mike O'Kane,
Here.
Mike Poor,
Present.
Rick Streebing,
Here.
Sherry Pickering,
Here.
Ethan Burt,
Present.
Eve Ludwig, Tricia Teague, Robert Williams,
Present.
Darren York.
Present.
Let the record reflect that we do have 12 present. Before we give the invocation, I'd just like to apologize to you if I seem a little upset or shaken. I learned just moments ago that my Aunt Sue passed away, the wife of my Uncle Eli we just lost last year. So please keep me and your family, my family in your prayers. At this time, we'll have the invocation led by the Reverend Fred Cowan, pastor, New Hope number 3, Church of God in Christ, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Alderman Wilson. Please rise.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come before you as humble as we know how. Thank you for just to see another day, and thank you for all these blessings that you have bestowed upon the city, the state, this nation. God, we pray your blessings on us. Ask that you bless the judicial, the executive, the legislative branch of local, state, and federal government. And then you help us to love one another.
Yes.
Bring our community
Yes.
closer together in you, God, knowing that we all one in you. Actually, you bless the mayor as he go through the grieving process.
Yes.
And give him consolation in his heart. Lord, we thank you for this meeting tonight. And we, Bible says that in business be men. Help us to do the things that are right in your sight, respectful for this community. And God will give you the praise and the honor because it belongs to you.
Yes.
These another blessing we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Cowan, if you would like to give us an update on any of the good things you have going on at the church, I would be most appreciative.
Community, small church, growing church. Like COVID, like everybody else, we're able to have the courage to come back to church. But we're going on and doing what we can for the community, bring hope. We live in a
More
hopeless
so him.
world, and our church is on 201 South Virginia Street. And each in town is not the most.
I don't think.
I'm sorry. I should know that.
We hear you. Go ahead. We hear you.
Yeah, I'll talk a little louder. I can't get louder. But we just here, our church is just trying to do the best we can with what we have to try to just instill hope, like I said, for a community that's struggling. And I know that's the same thing that you guys are doing. And we just appreciate what you're doing for this city. I've been here since I was 8 years old, and Michael O'Kane can tell you how old I am. we graduated from school the same year, but I just thank God we're struggling right now in some areas, not financially anything like that, but to get people to understand that God is bigger than this situation that we're dealing with, and to keep your head up. And I just like to encourage you to do the same. God's bigger than anything we're dealing with, and He's on our side. He's on America's side. And we pray for the police, and we pray for those all that are in charge and in authority, because the Bible tells us to. You know, He ordained this, but He also ordained that we should all do the right thing. Me as a pastor, I got to be an example to my flock, and you know that you have been an example to this city. So I pray for us.
Amen.
Well, Pastor Cowan, I've known you since I was born, and you've always been a good example, so I thank you for that.
Thank you.
And practice what you preach.
I just want to say that I used to play basketball against Cowan, Pastor Cowan, and he grew up to be a fine young man.
Thank you, Mr. Alderman Williams. At this time, we will have the approval of the minutes from the August 2nd meeting. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. We do have the minutes. Also, we have the agenda for this evening. However, we need to remove item 6B1, the appointment of Rayanne Weatherford. Unfortunately, Rayanne has had some things arise, and she's not going to be able to accept the appointment after all. So is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. We do have an agenda for this evening. I do not have any proclamations. However, I do have several board, committee, and personnel appointments. If it be appropriate, I would entertain a motion to concur with the appointment of Justin Fleming, reappointed to a term of 6/25, and Pastor Michael Hall, reappointed to a term also of 6/25 for the Planning and Zoning Commission. Is there a motion to do
Move
so?
to concur.
It's been moved. There's a second. All those in any discussion or debate? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Thank you. We also have the appointment of Mr. Gardner Peck to the Vermillion Regional Airport Authority for a term to expire in December of 2024. He will be taking the remainder of Dr. Fustein's term, who unfortunately is moving from our community to be closer to family after retirement. Is there a motion to concur with that appointment?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you for that concurrence. Are there any reports of boards, agencies, or commissions this evening? Okay, seeing none. Items of information. There were a number of things that I was going to discuss with you, but my mind isn't clear. But there is one thing that I think everyone should know, if you haven't already seen it in Vice Mayor's news release. I'm very proud to tell you that the city of Danville was one of, I believe, 40 or 50 communities that received the state grant for downtown and Main Street revitalization as part of COVID funding. We were one of only 14 in the entire state to receive the entire amount of $3 million.
My goodness.
With that $3 million, we will be able to do the reworking of Walnut Street and the sidewalks, as well as the lights. We will also be able to do the same on Harrison Street, as well as Hazel Street downtown. And a fun part of that project is you've maybe heard me float this idea of Angel Alley. There is a main alley back behind Temple Plaza that goes all the way down to the Fisher Theater. A lot of people use that to go to concerts, banquets, things like that. The alley is uneven. There's a sewer that we need to move to another place. And we will be able to do that with this money, and also initiate our project called Angel Alley. You all have probably heard or been to other places where you go somewhere and they have a huge painting of an angel's wing or fairy's wing or butterfly wings or some kind of animal wings. Well, all of the buildings that are down that alley have agreed with us. We're going to have a contest, an artist contest. There will be one for children, a space for children's spot, and then also for adults, where we're going to have painted on those and some lighting put in wings so that people will have a safe, fun place to go to as a destination downtown. So that was the fun part of the grant. So I just want to tell everybody we're really thankful for that. I especially want to thank my team, because the truth is they did most of the work. Sam and Ashton did the finances. Ashlyn did the finances and the estimates for the project. And Logan and Ashton, who are both not here this evening, did the bulk of the writing of the grant and the getting letters of support. So essentially, these folks added 5% of revenue to our budget approximately. So I just want to thank them and give them a hand for that.
Round of applause.
And I think it's especially fitting that happened today, because today is also our Community Relations Administrator, Ashton Greer's 1-year anniversary with us. And I think she's done a lot to bring a sense of community and unity and goodwill, and also for people to speak the name of Danville in a positive light. So she and Logan is out in a conference in Oklahoma trying to get us more brownfield money so we can get some of these nasty contaminated sites cleaned up in town. And Ashton is on vacation. But I want to thank them in their absence. And that's all that I have. Madam Clerk, are there any petitions, communications, or audience comments for the good of the cause?
Yes, we do. Has everyone had a chance to fill out a comment card? So when I call your name, please come to the podium and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. We have Gloria Bolden of Danville concerning the code violation PM 302.4.
Hi, everyone. I see a lot of new faces since the last time I've been here. And congratulations to those that got offers. Anyway, I got a letter from the city, a code violation. I live at 909 Jewel. And it says, as you may aware, the code violation assigned is responsible for enforcing regulation contained in City of Danville Code Ordinance. To further the health and safety of our community, in regard, it has come to our attention that after conducting an inspection on August 11th, the property located at 909 Jewel is violation of the City Code Council. And what it says that I have the PM 204 grass and weed, all premises, exterior property should be maintained free of weeds and grass. The only thing that I can say that my grass had grown a little bit more since it rained, and I pay someone to cut my grass sometime a week or every 2 weeks. But this inspection, I live in between 2 houses. I thought he was here. I don't know if he's an alderman again, Aaron Trottle. Okay. His house is one of the houses that's next to me. I have talked to, when people move out of there, I've talked to his workers to tell them that his grass is growing, trees are growing on the side of my house, touching my house, gonna get it cut. One of the other man, he ignored me, but the woman, she trimmed it. Now it's still growing tall. And I don't have Aaron's number. I would have called him. I thought about calling here, but so much been going on, I didn't. And so, and the house next behind me at the alley, they got weeds and trees growing over my garage. And I walk around my house, I don't see no weeds. I don't have plants, I don't have flowers, because there's a lot of taking care of and I don't want to take care of it. And so I like to meet this Kenny Harden, whoever is inspecting my house, to show me what he's talking about. And if he's talking about safety, if that's the case, everybody on the block should got a code violation. Everybody. Aaron Troggle especially should have got a code violation with both his houses, because the grass don't get cut to about a month or so till it get tall, and my grass is cut and his grass is long, and then when it get cut, it don't look right. So everybody should have got a code violation besides me. And as I drive, turning on May and get up to the corner of Bowman and May, he want to talk about safety. There's a tree that branches are over the sidewalk that I have to pull up to the street of Bowman if I want to turn left so I see some cars to come out. If he's inspecting this area, he ought to see this. Whoever inspecting this area, that is a safety concern. And as I look around Danville talking about code, and it really ticked me off about my code violation, look at my yard, what the heck with all these weeds and houses and grass not cutting? That's all I got to say, but I like to talk to this inspection because he coded me wrong.
Thank you, Mrs. Bolden. We will follow up with you on that. But I can tell you that we have thousands of houses in court right now and who have received similar letters to the one that you received. So please know we're working hard on it. As a reminder, everyone, you do have 3 minutes to speak, so please keep it to that. I will ask you to, because we have a lot on the agenda this evening. Thank you.
We have Ed Strahl from Danville concerning the increase in wages.
Mr. Straw? Mr. Straw, it's your turn, sir.
My name's Ed Straw, 515 West Winter. And what I'm down here for is on these increases in pay. Now, what I want to know, how are you going to make, have you got money coming in that you can make this increase in all these pays? That's what I'm asking. Because, you know, the problem is, it's not me. You can tax me. It's really not hurting me. Hey, I'm down here for the little person that lives on Franklin, Walnut, Harrison. That's what I'm down here for. I'm telling these people that can't afford a lot of anything. They're on fixed income. They may have a house that's probably worth about $10,000. They may have it paid for, but they can't afford no increase in any way, shape, or form. And I can see that's what I'm down here for. To speak up for these people. And I hope that you people consider this about the little person before you vote on these increases. Thank you now.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. You'll be glad to know that we do have the resources to fund these, and there will not be any increases in tax or fees as a result of the increase, if there is an increase in salaries.
Okay, Ken McCrae for the community event at the Danville Rescue Mission.
Mr. York? Yes, sir. For everybody to take a look at. I envisioned being able to come to the podium with a 2-inch thick notebook and say, I have a few things to say. But I left my notebook. I'm here to champion the cause of a major community contributor, Danville Rescue Mission. We're going to, Life Building Institute of Success, a 501c3 agency, is going to sponsor a concert on the 27th of this month. Within that concert, tickets are $15, $10 if the attendees bring a non-perishable food for the Danville Rescue Mission. So I wanted to present that here, champion their cause. I believe it's going to be very, very important to get some substance into Danville Rescue Mission in the area of the non-perishable food. In addition to that, and please hear me out on this part, in communicating with Danville Rescue Mission, and I know you have your allocations, your earmarks. I don't know anything about how you do your funds, but $3 million sounds pretty good. So this is a good night to be here. But none of that is our money. I don't know how things are handled, or even if you can even speak to this, but Danville Rescue Mission is in need of an air conditioner. It is very important, I believe, and I know you can't come out of your pocket with it, but I stand before you with this understanding, may be heard different ways, but the law of separation, 3 degrees, 4 degrees separation, depending on where you've heard it from, says that we're 3 to 4 people from anybody in the world. You may know somebody that can contribute. And I'll say this story that one of the mothers of our church shared concerning her granddaughter who was in another state. She was on the phone with her granddaughter, and her granddaughter was kind of giving her a little feedback. And she told her over the phone, go to your room and put your mama on the phone. Mama came to the phone. She said, I want you to go to the bedroom and whoop her. After she explained to her what the situation was, the mother went, she whooped her, she came back to the phone. She said, now put my granddaughter on the phone. She said, now, I may not be there physically, but I still can make some things happen. You may not be able to contribute, but you may know somebody who can make some things happen. So I would implore you, if you are able to contribute, purchase some tickets for somebody else, or either pack up your dump truck and bring some non-perishables on that day. It would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Pastor.
August the 27th,
And what's the time?
5 p.m.
Pastor, I took a picture of the thing and I'll be happy to share that to the public too. So-
Appreciate it.
And also, just so you'll know, I know that we are working on a project with them for an electrical upgrade and such, because my understanding is that the electrical has to be upgraded for the air conditioner, a new air conditioner to work properly.
Outstanding. All right. Well, I'm in the right place with the right people then. You're always on it, and my prayers are with you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Quinn Adamowski of Joliet regarding the Breezy Tower.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Thank you for entertaining my comments tonight. As you heard, I am from Joliet, and so first I want to say, as one of the other 15 communities to accept $3 million, I congratulate you on that, and that project, Mayor, sounds fantastic. But I am not here representing Joliet. I am here representing Landmarks, Illinois. In my capacity as Regional Advocacy Manager for Landmarks, Illinois, my job is to work with communities from Galena to Golconda to find a way to preserve, restore, and save old structures. And not just old structures, anything that you can construe as historic preservation. So Landmarks, Illinois has a long history with the Breezy Tower going back to 2012. It was on our most endangered list, so it has been in our orbit for the past 10 years. I am not here on behalf of Mr. Collins. I do not have association with him. I have talked with him. But our interest is in the tower itself, not who owns it, not who potentially rehabs it. Arguably, with you having control of the building now, you could make the case that it has a better future ahead of it if you wanted to. I will say that I looked at the building finally up close, and I've looked at a lot of old buildings, and I will tell you that it is not in as bad shape as you may think. I've seen the pictures that Mayor Williams posted online. I understand the interior conditions. Yes, they are problematic, and I absolutely understand with the terracotta falling, how this is a public safety concern. Totally get that. Having said that, there is an opportunity before you. I walk downtown. You have a lot of great historic resources, a lot of great old buildings. I see the vision. I understand what you're trying to do in this downtown. I don't live here, but I get it in one day being here for 2 hours. I will tell you that this could be a cornerstone along with the Fisher Theater. It could be another anchor for your downtown redevelopment. And so I'm here to ask that, not that you save the building, not that you dump money into the building. I'm simply asking you to ask the question, is there anybody out there who would have interest in redeveloping this property? It will not cost you a dime to ask that question. My organization will help you write the RFP if that is what you would like to do. Our interest, again, is in seeing this historic resource at least considered. We're not here to tell you not to demo it. We're simply here to say, have you asked the question to see if it can be saved, if it can become a major centerpiece of your downtown as the largest building in this county. And it's a stunning structure. And a lot of communities that I have visited do not have buildings like this. And even the buildings that they do have that maybe are a little bit less scale, they're always trying to find ways to repurpose. Not everybody does that, right? But my interest, again, being 2.5 hours away, is not in telling you what to do. It's simply to ask you to issue an RFP. And we're here to help, and we're here to assist in any way that you deem appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adamowski.
I have no more.
Is there anyone else who wishes to address the council this evening? Seeing none, we do have before you item 8A, zoning petition. It's an ordinance amending Danville City Code, Chapter 150. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. At this time, we will hear from our corporation counsel, Mr. Simon, as to why this was requested.
I've been requested by, Logan Cronk, basically our curator and community development person, to make this presentation while hopefully he is lobbying for and obtaining lots of brownfield funds. So bear with me and I'll quickly go through it. And then at the end, I'd like to answer or like to address Mervis Industries attorney's letter that you all received sometime today.
Corporation Counsel, is your microphone on?
I think so.
Okay, we might move it just a bit closer so we can hear you a bit better, Jim.
The city has applied for a text amendment to include the word casino in the definition section along with the definition that's provided in the application. The city has also sought to have you approve among that, placing the word casino on permitted uses in the B3 General Business District as well as the I2 General Industrial District. At the outset, let me tell you, this addition that we hope you will approve does not place any restrictions on any of the existing uses. We are not proposing eliminating uses or confining them in any way. In fact, we are proposing expanding permitted uses in those two zoning districts. The Planning Commission adopted the staff memo that you all have, as well as the supporting exhibits and other materials in your packet, and hopefully had a chance to go through those. They also adopted the recommendation that you all approve the proposed amendment. It was a vote of 6-0 with one person abstaining. It was a very good meeting, well thought through meeting. Basically, I made the same presentation that I'm making here tonight. So if you listen to that, pardon me for being repetitious. I want to talk a little bit about Illinois law because zoning challenges, for instance, Mervis Industries has brought a zoning challenge to what you approved on September 20, I believe it was, September 15, 2020, when you approved changing the I2 zoning district to B3 so that the casino could proceed. Illinois or zoning challenges are usually based on some kind of constitutional challenge. We all have a right to how we use our property. And when government interferes with the use of property, including its diminution in value, owners may bring a zoning challenge to an existing zoning ordinance or an amendment. And there are two types of challenges that plaintiffs can bring. They can bring both of them if they want, or one or the other. One's called a facial challenge. One is called an applied challenge. A facial challenge challenges the ordinance head on, irrespective of its impact on any particular parcel of property. If the challenge is successful, the ordinance is stricken down and it's not enforceable at all. If the challenge fails, the ordinance remains applicable to whatever it addresses. An as applied challenge is more limited in it attacks the zoning ordinance or amendment in terms of its impact on a particular parcel of property. And typically, as I will talk about in a minute or two, the LaSalle criteria you may be familiar with from prior zoning petitions that come before you typically does not apply to a facial challenge because a facial challenge is not associated with a particular parcel of property, and the analyses required by that LaSalle case that articulated the 6 criteria generally focus on impact on particular parcels or areas. If an applied challenge, as applied challenge is successful, it means that the ordinance cannot apply to that particular parcel of property, but otherwise it's effective. And again, if it fails, the ordinance is applicable to that parcel of property. As I suggested in 1957, the Illinois Supreme Court in LaSalle National Bank versus Cook County articulated these 6 criteria that you've heard referenced when you've seen or heard about zoning petitions that have come before you. What the case basically did was kind of aggregate what other courts previously have done in how they analyze zoning amendments, zoning changes, et cetera. And they basically created these 6 challenges. Courts use these criteria for 2 reasons. One, to assess the impact that an amendment or a zoning ordinance or provision has, whether it's generally or whether it's as to a particular parcel of property. But in almost all cases, the criteria, as I suggest, are used to assess impact on particular property. The other thing that courts do with these criteria is to determine whether the ordinance or amendment is arbitrary or capricious, adopted for a particular person under a very bizarre set of circumstances. And so they're trying to deal with that. Or whether the process was arbitrary and capricious. Interestingly enough, in 2008, in the case of Napleton versus Village of Hinsdale, the Illinois Supreme Court held that these criteria only apply to as applied challenges, given what they're directed at. So they are not used anymore in facial challenges. They also typically are not used in text amendment challenges because text amendments do not focus on particular property, a particular parcel of property. When you considered the zoning request for the casino folks, that dealt with a specific parcel of property and whether it should be rezoned as B3 or remain as I2. And so the LaSalle criteria were applicable to that. By the way, I think the exhibits that we've provided you are self-explanatory. There's a map locating where the B3 districts are in the city, where the I2 districts are. There's a map that shows where all the districts are in relation to one another, but it also plots the 33 establishments that have video gaming, and those 33 establishments have 180 terminals. It's important, and I'll get to that in a little bit, but it's important to remember that these are scattered across not only B3 and I2, but in a couple of other zoning districts. On balance, the commission supported the staff view that this proposed text amendment, on balance, will promote, it will benefit the city far more than any detriment or negative impact it might have on a particular parcel. And of course, we ask you to approve the proposed text amendment. Any questions about that? Oh, by the way, you're going to ask, I'm sure, well, why did Simon and Logan Cronk have a discussion of LaSalle criteria if the courts don't apply them to text amendments? We felt it's a good analysis to the extent that we could apply them. Some of those criteria clearly are not applicable. They do relate very specifically to some parcel of property in an as applied challenge. But we thought it was a good analysis. Plus, the city would not be in control of who might bring a suit to challenge this and what if they're trying to argue an as applied challenge. The other reason is to demonstrate that through the analysis, and at this point so far, the Planning and Zoning Commission's approval and recommendation to you all to adopt this, that this is not an arbitrary or capricious text amendment. I would like to, as I say, I'd like to address a bit of rebuttal to what you received in Mervis Industries attorney's letter. I have to say, they certainly have a right to send letters out like public comment. But it's unusual when an attorney sends a letter to a client that they know is represented by their own attorney. Those kinds of communications under the Illinois Supreme Code of Professional Conduct of 2010 suggest that those letters should go to the attorney, not the client. I just bring that to your attention, though I'm sure they look at this as a public forum and they decided to approach you all. So I'm going to basically ask you to think about that letter and what it says and its purpose and why you should not consider it. The reason for the letter is Mervis Industries is doing everything they can to shut down the construction of Danville Development Casino in the area it's located. One of, as you probably know, they brought a lawsuit challenging the vote that you all made on September 15, 2020, where you changed the zoning from B3 to I2. I've looked at the complaints and the paperwork in the case, and frankly, I don't find that their argument has merit, but that's up to the judge. I'm not the judge of this. I've not chimed in. I don't represent anybody, including the city. We have our own outside attorneys. Mervis feels that this particular text amendment may negatively impact the case. This text amendment is not being proposed to benefit any particular casino or gaming establishment. It's designed without having a negative impact on any property use in the B3 and the I2 area to expand opportunities. Now, whether you choose to seize those opportunities is going to be up to you if and when they're presented. It could be anything from increasing allowable video gaming terminals from 6 to 10 in an establishment to 20, or allowing opening a video gaming parlor. It might happen that Danville Development may be so successful that they might want to have some limited satellite casino, maybe just slot machines, maybe just gaming tables, or maybe somebody wants off-track betting somewhere here. Or maybe it's some other form of gaming that the legislature approves and that the Illinois Gaming Board takes control over in terms of precise and careful regulation. Illinois has a history of growing all kinds of gaming. It goes back before horse racing. I'm sure there were other types of game allowed. And there was horse racing, and now we have lottery, and now we have casinos, and we have off-track betting, and if we don't have it already, we'll have sports betting. We have video gaming. There are all kinds of opportunities that those who wish to partake in gaming activities can do. No one is forced to do it. And by the way, as our memo indicated, here in this community, the video gaming has had no impact on property values, has had no impact on crime. But I'm going to get to an interesting example that's alluded to in our memo. In any event, Mervis raised many of the arguments in their letter in court when they filed a motion for a temporary restraining order, often referred to as a TRO, temporary restraining order, to compel the city to revoke the building permits for Danville Development. The court rejected those arguments and denied their motion. Interestingly, at the beginning of the hearing, and I wasn't there, this has been relayed to me by two separate attorneys who were at the hearing, the court said, Mervis, why are you pressing this so hard? If I were to find in your favor, all the city would have to do is go back and amend its prior work, your September 2020 ordinance. And Mervis, you'll probably bring a lawsuit and you'll probably lose because they will have learned if I find that they did anything wrong. Judge did not allude that there was anything wrong, but basically inviting him, why are you pushing this so hard? Frankly, we expect to prevail on that lawsuit. Mervis expects to prevail, and that's why we have courts and we pay judges to arbitrate disputes. One of the issues they raised is that there was no public awareness of the text amendment. There was public awareness to the text amendment as dictated and required by our zoning ordinance. In particular, sections 150.170 and 150.171, which are basically parts of the zoning code. And the amendments are those provisions talk about when the city offers or chooses to pursue a text amendment. The city is allowed to do that. So what must the city do when it does that? The first thing they need to do, other than there's an application by the city, is there must be a notice of a public hearing. And that notice has to be published in a newspaper of general circulation in Danville, not elsewhere. And the letter that you received chided Logan and myself for using a company that circulates newspapers in Champaign County to publish their notice, as if to suggest that we were trying to hide something. To coin a legal expression, that's a crock. Not a Logan crock, but that's a garbage argument. Why? Because the News Gazette is circulated here quite a bit in Danville. In fact, it's circulated more days, to my understanding, than the commercial news. So we fully complied with that. So that argument makes no sense. The News Gazette published the article. I believe your packet has the affidavit of publication. It was published timely. The hearing was conducted timely. And as I told you, the Planning and Zoning Commission approved the memo. They also recommended that you, for the reasons articulated in the memo, that you adopt this amendment. The press knew that there was a meeting, because not only was there a publication, a number of them asked for the Planning and Zoning Commission packet, and we provided them. What the press decides to do, of course, the letter says only one article appeared in the newspaper. Okay. What the press decides to do with that information is up to the press. We have no control. The letter says we should have personally invited Mervis and other businesses. The zoning ordinance doesn't require us to personally invite every member of the press, every business that we could conceivably think of that might have an interest in this, or for that matter, Mervis itself. Our obligation is to file the zoning ordinance, and we did. Had we not published, but we called every business in Danville, every press, whether it's video media or print media or blogger media or what have you, and invited them all to this hearing, that would not be following the ordinance. Publication in a newspaper of general circulation within Danville is. Their next point is there's no need for this text amendment. Why do it? They provide no justification whatsoever why you shouldn't adopt this amendment. Their arguments are highly speculative, generalized, and completely devoid of any rational facts. They're correct. No request for this proposal was made by a casino. Our application and the memo clearly indicates it's the city requesting it, not a casino. And when I use the word casino right now, I'm talking about the traditional type of casino like it's being constructed out on Eastgate. This is a far more reaching text amendment than those folks out there. Mervis's whole letter focuses only on what I'm calling traditional casinos. So they say, why are we rushing this through? We aren't rushing it through. We are following to the letter the zoning ordinance that sets out the timetable, when the notice must go out, when the hearing of the Planning and Zoning Commission must be held, and when you all are presented with whatever recommendation they can. That's hardly rushing it. It's what's doing what they say we're not doing, which is following the law. There's no litigation, they say in the memo. Why would there be? That's why we have a court. The court is giving them due process and us due process, and eventually that judge from Coles County will make a decision on their lawsuit. We think it'll be in our favor. There's no need to mention it. This amendment does not deal with litigation. It deals with what it says it deals with. They finally say a vote in favor of the text amendment is a vote against the city. I suggest that's preposterous. It really, to me, sounds like a threat. You do this and we're going to get you. Because buried in their letter, they say this will propagate more litigation. If the casino chooses to do something with this amendment, and that's their choice, not our choice, if it's applicable and the judge thinks it's applicable, it may end the litigation very quickly. I'm not proposing what they do. That's between them and their attorney. But if we decide to use this in the litigation, it's just one more item. I don't know if we're going to. I'm not handling the litigation. It claims that the letter claims that to allow the same activity in both a B3 and an I2 zone provides incompatible uses between gaming activity and those uses. Well, gaming is already going on in those two zoning districts, and they have not caused any problem whatsoever that we know of. None reported. And I checked with, and he's still here, Chief Yates about that. He mentioned, and it's mentioned in our memo, there's only been one problem since 2014 when video gaming started, and that's when somebody tried to break into a video gaming machine to see if they could steal the money in it. And to my understanding, they don't operate with money. They operate with more or less credits that you obtain or chits. I've never played one, but I've been told there's no money in those machines and all. Did not present a clear and present danger to anyone in that gaming location. They have identified not a single rational danger. There's no evidence in the state of Illinois where these casinos have been built that patrons have wandered off and done something untoward to neighboring property. I don't imagine that the patrons of the casino out on Eastgate are going to wander on to, I presume it's fenced off Mervis property, and climb on the steel or play on any machines or try to load 2 tons of steel or copper or whatever into their Honda Civics. I just don't think that's going to happen. There's no evidence. But that was an argument they made in the court, and the court rejected that argument. I mentioned Joliet earlier. Joliet's an interesting study in this whole area. They have 2 casinos. One, the newer one, Hollywood Casino, is built or was built in an industrial corridor like Eastgate. Now I'm talking about casinos. This thing is not directed strictly at casinos. Not only have there been no problems with a casino in an industrial area, it has promoted infill and otherwise vacant property or vacant buildings, and it has increased property values. Their earlier casino, Harris Casino, frankly, is one of the first casinos in Illinois, and that goes back to the day where they had to be built on the water, riverboat casinos. And in the earliest of those days, they'd push out a couple of feet, and they'd sit there with the patrons, and they'd come back and unload, and the next group would go on. Eventually, they were tied up, and since then, Harris has moved onshore in a blighted area. That whole area was blighted. The area is not blighted anymore. There is infill. Property values have increased in that area. There is no evidence that casino patrons have wandered off to do anything untoward or to hurt anybody or have been hurt. That same kind of argument, as I said, was raised and rejected. There is no evidence to demonstrate that gaming would refuse to establish a location in an I2 zoning area or near one. For some reason, Danville Development, a traditional casino, decided to locate where it located. I wasn't even here at that time, so they chose it for whatever reason they chose it. There's no evidence that industry would refuse to locate near a casino. Joliet demonstrates that that's not true. And there's no evidence that Danville Development, as I suggested, had shied away from being in an industrial area and all where the federal FedEx facility is being built and a lot of other industries. In fact, no other industry has even joined Mervis in their lawsuit. apparently they don't feel threatened by having some kind of gaming activity. We've heard no complaints from any industry or any business about the video gaming. That's the only gaming activity that I'm aware of, other than maybe shooting dice on a curbstone. So any questions about what's been presented or the city and staff application? Yes.
I have one, the 10 contiguous feet in the zoning ordinance. That would not allow for the smaller parlors to be set up, correct?
Well, it would, the square feet of the facility, not necessarily, I'll call it a gaming floor, because I don't know what else to call it. Doesn't have to be 10,000. That could be an office for the parlor.
Okay,
But that basically, it's not going to be shoehorned into the back. It couldn't be shoehorned into the back of a bar or a restaurant or a tavern. That's already being done.
right.
As long as it's being done consistent with our zoning ordinance and the layout of these things and the Video Gaming Act, Illinois Video Gaming Act.
Thank you.
It's more of if and when they approve, something like off-track betting here in Danville, or maybe a true video gaming or slot machine or a table gaming parlor. I tend to call those parlors as opposed to the establishments that currently are allowed to have video gaming. So yes, in that respect, the floor space would have to be 10,000 or more.
Alderwoman Teague.
For point of clarification, so in 2020, we rezoned, but we did not add casino, and now we're adding casino.
Correct. You rezoned, as I understand it, the
One
reason
particular parcel.
Right.
Yeah, the reason it was done the way it was done is a B3 allows for cultural, recreational, and entertainment type uses. They figured that the recreational and entertainment type use would cover that. But yeah, it does clarify that, but not for the purpose of Danville development, but for in any type of activity where we might be approached. We're set up to take on that activity if you all want to. Yes.
I feel slighted because I don't think I got a letter today.
At 5:56, because I just looked
I
at.
didn't get one
I
today at
didn't
all.
get it
So,
You didn't?
no.
Alderman Streebing, your name was on it. I looked at the list and I saw that Alderwomen Wilson, Wands, Ludwig were not on it, and Alderman Burt and York and Alderwoman Teague were not on it. And the only thing I could divine from that is it was sent, with the exception of you, Alderman Streebing, and you were listed on the letter. I can give you mine if you want.
No, I really don't want it. I'm just saying, I feel slighted.
But I only divine that it was the alderpersons who were on the council on September 2020. That's the only rhyme or reason I have for that.
Their names are on the bottom of page 2.
Yeah, we are indicated on the letter, but I don't understand why not everybody got the email.
So the email that I received was from Mona at 5:56. If there was email directly to Alderman, I did not receive it.
Okay. And maybe I missed page 2 or whatever it is. Well, I'll apologize for Mervis for slighting you.
Okay.
And I hope
thanks.
you take it as a slight
I
and
will,
reject
yeah.
their arguments.
I'll lose sleep tonight, believe me.
Are there any further questions? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
I have a question.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Okay, because I have had a chance to review the letter and I understand the question or the reasons, that you outlined, and I see their arguments. I don't think this letter has anything to do with what they're suggesting it really has to do with. I'm trying to read between the lines and understand the dynamics. I'm ignorant of the dynamics that have occurred previously. And so, because in the 5th complete paragraph on page 2 of the letter, they do promise that they're going to continue litigation. Quote, passage of the text amendment number 288 will only add another issue to the ongoing litigation. threatening to entangle the city of Danville in protracted litigation that will come to great expense to the city of Danville and its taxpayers. And then they say they don't want this, but then they essentially promise to continue litigation. So I'm trying to understand, and I'm asking a question. I think it's a loaded question. I don't think I'll get an answer. I'm trying to understand why they're proceeding with this litigation. I mean, because it doesn't really, their argument doesn't really satisfy my understanding of why they would be doing this. I'm trying to understand, what the underlying motive really is.
They're trying to wear down you all. They're trying to wear down the city. I can assure you, whether this passes or not, they are going to continue their litigation.
And I believe that according to their letter. I'm trying to understand their underlying motive and why they would continue to litigate.
Because
What's the benefit to Mervis?
well, the only there are two potential benefits, and one of which I'm reasonably certain will never occur. And that is, even though they're not even a party in the lawsuit, which is an interesting thought, i.e. Danville Development, maybe they're hoping that Danville Development will throw a bunch of money their way to settle the lawsuit. But they don't have really, technically, unless we buy into it too, the power to settle, because we're the party in the lawsuit as a Mervis, but Danville Development. Interestingly enough, Danville Development was not named a party in the lawsuit, even though they're looking to affect what they're trying to do. I mean, I litigated for 35 years in state and federal court all over the country, and I can assure you, any chance I had to bring in another party when I was a plaintiff, I did it. So this decision on theirs, I have to believe in. They're smart lawyers. They have good lawyers, and the folks at Mervis are smart people, and they understand this. I think this was a calculated plan on their part not to join Danville Development. But be that as it may, this issue, I don't see it as, quote, complementing or complicating the litigation. It's going to go on, and sooner or later, the judge is going to rule in that lawsuit, either for us or for Mervis. They think they're going to win. I really believe I think we're going to win. And I know it's a hard question because I'm not in the mind of their attorneys or Mervis.
Yeah, it's speculation.
Other than my experience of practicing for almost 46 years and litigating for 35 years in complex litigation.
Alderman, you probably are aware that we're with a different developer than we originally started with.
Understood.
The original location of the property was on the land owned by a particular heirs, and you can discern from that what you may.
That's what I thought.
Any further discussion or debate? Roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Wands,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Burt,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
You forgot me.
Oh,
So, sorry.
Wilson.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, and I'd like to thank you all for one other thing, other than looking at this as carefully as allowing me to come out of my corner.
Thank you. Thank you. 14 yes, the motion carries. Yeah, before you.
It's 13.
13 yes.
Yes, 13 yes. I did say that. Thank you, Alderwoman Teague. Approval of payrolls. You have item 9, the approval of the payrolls for August 5th and August 12th of 2022. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bouchard,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Burt,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries. At this time, I will turn it over to Chairman Poor for our Public Work
You wanna do
Committee.
vouchers payable?
Oh.
Table.
You won't pay bills?
I'm sorry.
Pay bills?
I'm actually glad that we have the money to pay the bills, so I guess we can do it.
Okay.
Thanks, y'all. Item number 10 is approval of approval of vouchers payable for August 9th and August 16th, 2022. Is there a motion to concur, to
So
approve?
moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Alderwoman Teague?
I have one question. It's on page 4 of the August 16th payables. There's 2 checks to Salt Fork Athletic Boosters from a golf tournament. I'm assuming it's some public golf tournament.
Yes, I can answer that. So we facilitate golf tournaments at Harrison Park, and we take in all of the fees at the golf outing, and then we remit to them their portion, the reason they host the tournament there.
Okay, so they were the host of the tournament.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman Teague. Any further discussion or debate? Roll call, please.
Alderman Iverson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Poor?
Yes.
Streebing?
Yes.
Pickering?
Yes.
Burt?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Pashard?
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries. And at this time, we will receive the Public Works Committee report. Chairman Poor.
Thank you, Mayor. 11A is a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement for restricted gift. Need a move suspense reading, ask for your approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Brown?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Poor?
Yes.
Streebing?
Yes.
Pickering?
Yes.
Burt?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Pashard?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
11B is a resolution approving the disposal of surplus personal property. Move dispense reading, ask for your approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman O'Kane?
Yes.
Poor?
Yes.
Streebing?
Yes.
Pickering? Burt?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Pashard?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
11C is an ordinance authorizing the purchase of real property. Move dispense reading, ask for your approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Poor?
Yes.
Streebing?
Yes.
Pickering?
Yes.
Burt?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Pashard?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
11D is an ordinance approving the acceptance of permanent and temporary easements for the Woodland Trace Pump Station relocation project. Move dispense reading, ask for your approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Streebing?
Yes.
Pickering?
Yes.
Burt?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Pashard?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Poor?
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
If there's no objection, I'd like to take 11E, F, G, and H together. They all deal with purchasing trucks. 11E is a resolution approving the purchase of an automated refuse truck. F is a resolution approving the purchase of a pickup truck. G is approving the purchase of a replacement replacement plow truck. And H is a resolution approving the purchase of a sign shop service truck. Move dispense reading, ask for your approval
Second.
on E through H.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Wait.
Alderman,
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at this column and not this column. He said
Okay.
I was
All right,
confused.
Alderwoman, Digger, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Pashard?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Poor?
Yes.
Streebing?
Yes.
Pickering?
Yes.
Burt?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
11I is a resolution approving the downtown TIF RIP grant application. Move dispense reading, ask for your approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman York?
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Burt,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
11J is a resolution awarding bid 703 for the reconstruction of Lafayette, Robinson, and North Streets and amending the fiscal year 22-23 Fund 103 motor fuel tax budget. Move to dispense with reading and ask for your approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Wilson,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Burt,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
York.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
11K is a resolution awarding bid 706-2022 resurfacing of Eastgate Court. Move to dispense with reading and ask for your approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Wands,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
sorry, Pickering,
Yes.
Burt,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
Finds information. No, anybody? Okay. Yes.
I would just like to thank our director Carpenter and Tracy Kraft. This last week, one of my houses that had burnt in my area, the storm had caused some compromise and it was about ready to fall on another house. So thank you for the good work that you did and the fastness you did it with. Appreciate it.
Ask and you shall receive.
Mayor, that concludes our report.
Thank you, Chairman Poor. At this time, we will receive Public Services Committee report. Chairman Streebing.
Yes, we will meet here August 23rd, next Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yes.
At this time, are there any items of information for the good of the cause?
I've got something I want to bring up.
Yes, Chairman.
The Grotto is having Thunder on Vermillion, August 19th, 20th, and 21st. It's a Marine Racing Club from all over the nation. Talking about having about 60 boats out there. You need to come out if you watch it for a little bit or you watch it for one of the whole days. They're going to be there Friday practice and Saturday and Sunday is the actual race.
And Chairman, admission is free this year, right?
Admission is free.
Okay.
Find you a good place to park. These guys are very excited to be here. They can't wait. We're going to have ice cream out there for the kids, an ice cream truck. We're going to be selling corn dogs and food and beverages and things like that. So come on out over the weekend. Stay for a little bit or stay for the whole day. You're going to have a good time. I think we got a band on Saturday night too. So
Know the time? Do you know the
Thank you,
times of the?
I do not know what time they're going to start on Friday because everybody's coming in from Michigan and Wisconsin and everywhere else. I do know. I think it's they're going to start having meetings after breakfast about 9 or 10 on Saturday, and 9 and 10 on Sunday. So anytime after that is when the races will start. I know that Friday they will set the track up, and you'll be able to see it because it'll be going right by the grotto, right in front of you. You'll get to see at least 2 turns. So they do shut down the lake on the one side, and the sheriff's department will make sure that while the race is going, nobody comes through the tunnel, and there's no waves, no wake, because the least little bit will throw these boats off kilter and crash. So if you happen to have a boat coming in on the other side and you get stopped, that's the sheriff's department. They'll let you know when the race or heat's over. So, and these guys do this. They make points, which means they make money. But they're happy to be here, and we're happy to have them this year. So,
Thank you, Chairman. Are there any other items of information for the good of the cause? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session under Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss specific employees and compensation of specific employees. under Section 2C2 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss salary schedules and collective bargaining matters, under 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act, discuss the purchase of real property, and under 2C6 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss setting the price for the sale of property. Is there a motion to concur?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Williams, Alderman Wilson,
Yes.
Alderman Wands,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
O'Kane.
Yes.
Poor.
Yes.
Strebing.
Yes.
Pickering.
Yes.
Burt.
Yes.
Teague.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
York.
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, we are adjourned to closed session. There will be action taken following closed session.
Mayor, do they have a
Hell no,
one guy
we
who
won't
runs all
go.
of the watch? They have a individual.
I know that Chris Clapp
Not
is
too
the
shabby.
president.
Come on. You guys make it easy.
But I don't know about it.
We're gonna be all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I
I can
appreciate
check.
that.
Our
Thank
chief
you.
AT&T.
No, that's okay. I'll be Lisa tonight. And this one. I think we're good. Take my luggage. It'll probably be a minute.
I would call it emergency because you're gonna need quicker response. Yeah, so I'm waiting for you to call me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would just call me. You never know how it's- Right.
Alrighty then.
I would just tell her, call for criminal justice.
On the news.
And if she's alarming and disturbing
I didn't see it. I don't know why they said it was on the news.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. My husband called me and said.
You're doing very well.
Longer than you think, 'cause they just sit on
Right.
the. So when I parked, I looked at the gym, I thought, I don't see it anywhere.
Because that's what I had looked for, just to see, well, if it's on here. So what if I actually put it on the agenda, you know? I'm gonna ask Mom.
Thanks a million for your help today, sir.
Okay, because it seemed
She's
like-
not- was not-
Yeah, but-
I know how to park. Sunny day.
All right, you didn't trip on any sidewalks, right?
Yeah, they won't.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
Do I need sunglasses?
Oh.
Maybe?
Yeah, it's still got a light. You know, the days are starting to get shorter.
I know, last night
Mhm.
I drove
Mhm.
until 9:45.
Yeah.
And it was just, oh, wow. And then, of course, yesterday. we called it.
Oh, yeah, it was. And I didn't even know it was gonna rain.
Oh, really?
I ran the program for the last.
Hey, good job on Laura's show. I listened.
Oh, did you listen to me?
I learned a few things.
I thought it was.
And I tell you what, that was great though. It was very good all the way through.
You know, when you're saying it, it sounds fine, then when you listen to it, how many times did I say,
Join the club.
Thank you.
No, I never saw them.
Yeah. Steve says he's back at work. good night. Yeah, you too. I'm surprised I'm the only one waiting. Stay away from it.
time, I will entertain a motion to return to open session.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are in open session. We are returned to open session. At this time, we have before you item 15, a resolution approving agreement between the City of Danville and the Policemen's Benevolent and Protective Association Unit Number 11. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Thank you. The motion carries. We also have before you item 15, which is a resolution approving agreement between the City of Danville and the Policemen's Benevolent and Protective Association. Is there a motion to put that on the table?
So moved.
I'm sorry. No, God, I read the
Yeah, I was
wrong
gonna say,
thing.
just.
Item 16 is an
Did that
ordinance
twice.
setting compensation for elected officials for 4-year terms commencing in 2023 and ending in 2027. Is there a motion to concur?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. At this time, at the request of the alderman, I would entertain a motion to consider the salaries, or to consider the positions separately by salary to include all the benefits outlined in the original motion. Is there a motion to do so?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion or debate? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Wilson? Yes. Wands?
Yes.
Pashard?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Poor?
Yes.
Streebing?
Yes.
Pickering?
Yes.
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
No.
York?
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries. At this time, I would entertain a motion regarding the salary and benefits of the mayoral position beginning in 2023.
Your Honor, my motion would be to have the mayor's salary the first year at 95,000, the next year at 100,000, then 105 and 110 by the fourth year of the term.
Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Wands?
Yes.
Pashard?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Poor?
No.
Streebing?
No.
Pickering?
Yes.
Burt?
Yes.
Teague?
No.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
9 yes.
9 yes, the
You
motion
left out
carries.
Wilson.
Sorry, Wilson.
No.
Sorry.
Sorry, Alderman.
9 yes.
9 yes, the motion carries. At this time, I would entertain a motion regarding the treasurer's salary.
Your Honor, I would like to motion for the city treasurer's pay and salary. The first year, 50, the second year, 55, third year, 60, the fourth year, 65.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Pashard?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Poor?
Yes.
Streebing?
Yes.
Pickering?
Yes.
Burt?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries. At this time, I would entertain a motion regarding the aldermanic salary.
Mayor, I would propose the automatic salary to increase to $350 per month, which is a total of $4,200 per year.
Alderwoman, for clarification, that would be for those elected in 2023 and then also for those elected in 2025 as well.
Yes, correct.
Yes, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Yes, Alderman Williams.
Yeah, I oppose that amendment based truly that I feel that each alderman should be paid equal amount of salary, and to be paid less is really a slap in the face.
Thank you, Alderman Williams. Is there any further discussion or debate? Roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Alderman York?
Yes.
Williams?
No.
Teague?
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Streebing,
No.
Hoare,
No.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Brown,
No.
Iverson,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Wands,
No.
Wilson.
Yes.
9 yes.
9 yes, the motion carries. I do thank you for all of your work on all of those, everyone. Having satisfied the agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Yeah, gee, how many took?